Hi, I'm Rich.
And I'm Ann.
And we are from the Dark Incider. And we are trying really hard to do a beer review for you today. First, we went outside and went to the brewery, and they didn't even have the beers that we wanted to review. Then we went outside, and our neighbor is pulling down something off his house. And we went out front, and somebody else is pulling down a carport. Noise, noise, noise. We come inside, and we start the review. And our microphones are dead, so we did a whole review with no sound. Take two. So here we go. Gigantics. Most Russian Imperial Stout, 2022 Bourbon Barrel Aged. This is a fantastic beer. And as you can see, we got the open sample version. No, we already tried it. Would you like to say anything about this?
Well, originally when we first,
so good, her glass is already empty.
I've had two, but originally when we opened this beer, we noticed that there is little to no carbonation.
As you can see,
we smelled it, and we had nice roasty, sweet, kind of vanilla.
I didn't even get a full taste on this.
I'm sorry, Rich had smelled the bourbon.
Yeah, well, let's go through it. Let's go through it because they can't see the other take. So let's go through it. So I'm holding it up to the light for the camera, and it does not come through. Not even faintly. It is black. If you can see that.
I can turn this around too.
And as you can see, now this has been open for a little while, so it's not gone flat. It's a stout. It doesn't have much carbonation.
Right.
It's not super thick when you pour. Sometimes you can pour some stouts, and I mean it comes out like gravy. It's so thick. This is not. But let's take a little sample scent here, and you get this wonderful bourbony, but more. It's not
roasty.
Right. It's not
vanilla,
a hot fire like you just
sweet,
sniffed a thing of bourbon.
Molassesy kind of smell.
All that, but not sickeningly sweet. Like you're not smelling a syrup.
Right.
So let's take another.
It does pour thicker than some of the stouts, some of the previous stouts that we've had.
It does.
So good.
Now on the first take, it was a little colder. So I didn't get quite as much as what's going on there. But now when she was talking about the vanilla and the molasses, that's really, really coming through.
And I got more of the bourbon on this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about a stout, which I don't think you get with other beers like maybe lagers or pilsners. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But when your beer warms up, I almost guarantee you that it doesn't change into a different beer. It gives you even a wider palate. Stouts, especially the darker, heavier, I don't want to say heavy like it's a negative thing. The double digits is what I'm saying. And I want to say heavy only because they got to put more stuff in there to get that ABV up there. As it warms, the whole profile sometimes changes.
It's true.
You may start out with a beer that you like and end up with a beer that you don't, and it may go the other way. Sometimes we've cracked a beer and put it on the table and just leave it alone. Let it air out, let it warm up.
Right. Sometimes a beer will start out with a little bit of a metallic taste. If you let it sit for a little bit,
right,
that metallic taste goes away.
There's a brewery down in Northern California that we really love. It's about a 9% beer, and it starts out really metallic for some reason. We don't know. And we just pour it and put it on the side of the table for a little while, and later on it becomes this way better beer.
Right.
I don't think your Pilsner or your lager does that. Anyway, so Gigantic is a local brewery, and let me give you a little bit of history on that. We got introduced to them. I think that's where we got introduced to them with their stout called Super Bad. Super Bad. It had Samuel L. Jackson's face on the label.
Gigantic, if randomly you see our wee little videos, please
bring
FYI. Back the Super Bad. Please bring back the super bad.
This would be a customer appreciation plea. Anyway, and then I think Anne stumbled on, like, we were looking for different beers in the store or something like that, and she stumbled upon this fantastic label. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Great artwork. It's really kind of cool. But it was I want to say it was the most. This says most, but on the back of the label it says most. So I don't know which one it is.
And I think they had a most Imperial Stout.
Right. And each level is like, I think we've seen some of the mosts at 10%. This is a 12, so I'm pretty sure it's the most. And I think the most was even higher than that. But they also do these. So this is a bourbon barrel aged. We've had them in port barrel aged, rum barrel aged,
rye.
And
they had
said port.
Yeah, you said port. And they had it. Didn't they have not a tequila, but the other mezcal. They had a mezcal.
That's the barley wine.
No, I thought they had one of those in mezcal too.
They could. If you know of Gigantic, list it down in the comments. Let us know. We've had a bunch of them, and they're fantastic. All of them. And the nice thing about it is, I don't know how they do it. Sometimes when you get a beer that has been barrel aged, the barrel, whatever they soaked it in, it's overpowering. Almost like it's not the beer anymore. It's just whatever they aged it in. Some stouts in Pinot barrels, for me, it doesn't work because the Pinot's way too strong. It becomes really whiny. But this is not that at all.
No.
This is, it totally got the bourbon.
So.
But it's not like boozy.
The flavor profiles, no hop finish. Oh my God. It's just like.
It keeps on getting better.
I hope I don't have a mustache.
But it's very molassesy.
It's not overwhelmingly molasses.
But it's not very no. If you don't like molasses,
I probably say you might not like this. It is true.
You might not like this.
Yeah.
Because it is strong on that side of it, but it's not just like drinking molasses. Let me read what's on the back of the label because I think this is really cute. Blacker than the uncaring hearts of the czars in Russia, richer than their estates, more decadent than their palaces, and larger than their empire, this bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout is really most premium. They say that twice to emphasize the point. This is most premium. This is really, really good stuff. And I want to say that when we first started buying this, like probably pre-COVID, it was like $6-ish a bottle down at the little local bottle shop. More in the stores, but at the local bottle shop, the Gigantic tap room bottle shop, it was like $6. But if you bought 4, which if you buy port, rum, rye, and mezcal or whatever, if you bought 4, then you got them for $5. Or bourbon. Yeah.
Bourbon.
And now I think they're up around 13-ish, somewhere around there. So, but totally worth it. And oh, by the way, so they don't come in a bomber. They don't come in a 22. I call 22 ounces bombers. And everybody seems to know what I'm talking about when I say that. So I think I'm right. I don't know. But these are 500 milliliter. I don't think I've ever seen these in a 22 ounce. Don't laugh at me.
I'm trying not to.
You guys didn't see it, but I started off one of these videos saying, "Hi, I am Anne." So, which I'm not. She's much prettier than I am. Anyway, so they're pretty much only in the 500. Not pretty much only. I've only seen them in the 500 milliliter, which is like 16.9. Again, 12%. We tried very hard. Hi, Carl. We tried very hard to find what the IBUs were. I would say this is higher. I would say this is up in the 70s. Would you say?
The IBUs?
Yeah.
Up in the 70s?
Yeah. This is.
No, I don't think so.
It's not hoppy, but it does have some bitter notes in it.
Okay,
it's
so
not a sweet beer.
We read one that said 55. It was one of the.
You're right.
It was one of the most.
It was a different barrel age.
But it was a different barrel age one. I would tend. It's
Okay.
The point
I'll give
is it's extremely low in the bitters.
Yeah. Let's just say if you're going to, it's not syrupy, sickeningly sweet, and it's not hoppy. But I would say, yeah, I would believe in the 55, more like the 70 range. So, because IBUs is really subjective anyway. It depends on how bitter the guy was when he was drinking. Anyway, we're gonna sign off. We've already killed this bottle. I think we need to go try another one.
Carl says hi.
Carl says hi. Anyway, Sluncha.
Skull. Cheers.
Bottom up. Oh, by the way, we need to sign off. I'm Rich.
I'm Ann.
And we're from the Dark Incider. Cheers. That is a really good beer. That's a really good beer.
I think I want it.
You want another one?
Is that wrong?
No.
Sit down, Carl.